I'm going to continue with the test review. If you're looking for an explanation on 1 through 13, you go back and look at that first video, because I'm going to start with 14 here. We're going to go all the way to, let's see, it's number 27 here. Okay, and then the next video will continue on 28 through 37, then the video after that, the proofs, and the last video on the slope stuff. So looking here at number 14, these you really got to know your angle pairs, basically for your justification. So if I look at angle 1 and this angle of 45 degrees, okay, those are, remember, alternate interior angles. Okay, and because of that, I know that the measurement of angle 1 is 45 degrees because they are congruent. Okay, now if I go to look at angle 45 degrees and the 2 there, those are going to be a linear pair, which means that they add up to be 180 because they're supplementary. So in this case, I would have 180 minus the 45 degrees, which would give me 135 degrees. Okay. So it's a linear pair. For number 2 here, if I look at angle 1 and 115, they are same side into exterior, angles, because they're not in between the two parallel lines here. So that means they are supplementary, so they add up to be 180. So 65 plus 115 gets me to 180. So those were same side exterior angles. Okay. For the next example, 2 and angle 115 are corresponding angles. You'll notice they're in the same corner. They would overlap if I drag the 115 over to the other intersection. So they're both the top right corner. So corresponding angles are congruent. So this is going to be 115 degrees as well. For 16, sometimes these are a little bit hard for people to see. So what I always suggest is that you kind of extend the parallel lines. Okay. And I'm going to have my transversals actually be 2 different colors. So we got this one transversal that goes through B and C there. And then another transversal that's going to go through A and D. We'll change that to blue here. So there's 2 different transversals. So when I'm looking at this angle 1, you'll notice it's on the same transversal as angle 95. So when I look at those, they are alternate interior angles. So that means they are congruent. So it is 95 degrees. When I go to look at angle 2, you'll notice it's on the same transversal as the 50. And since they are same side of the transversal, in between the pink lines here, interior, then they have to be supplementary. So what plus 50 equals 180 or 130? Okay. 17 and 18 we're going to do the same way. So I'm going to extend the parallel lines. My transversal here. So I've got a pair of same side interior angles, so they have to add to equal 180 because they're supplementary. So I've got x plus 2x plus 24. So combine like terms, 3x plus 24 equals 180. So 3x is going to be 156. So x is going to be 52. Okay. If I actually needed to find the angles, I would have to plug them in. 52 degrees This would be 104 plus 24, so 128, I believe. For the next one, for 18 here, again, I'm going to extend the parallel lines and my transversal. And then it's a little bit easier to see, well, this angle and this angle are corresponding, which means they are equal. So subtract 3x over to this side, add 12, so I get 18 is going to be x. And if I needed to plug in to check my work, 3 times 18 is 54, plus 6 is 60. 4 times 18 is 72, minus 12 is also 60 degrees. So if I needed the angles, that's all I would have to do. Here I was just looking for the variables. So x is 18 was my answer. Looking at number 19, you'll notice these are not an angle pair. So when they are not an angle pair, they are going to be supplementary. So I've got 90, because that's what that right angle means there, plus 4x plus 12 is going to equal 180. So combining like terms, I've got 4x plus 102 is 180. So 4x is going to be 78, and x is going to be 19.5. Okay. When I go to plug in, I've got 4 times 19.5 plus 12 is going to be 90 degrees. Okay. For 20 here, again, I do not have an angle pair. So when I look at these were not an angle pair that we know of, so they are supplementary because the lines are parallel. So that means they add up to be 180. So when I combine like terms, I get 5x plus 35 equals 180. So that means 5x is 145, which means x is going to be 29. Okay. Now when I go to plug in, 3 times 29 plus 23 gives me an angle of, let me do the math here real quick, 67, looks like 87 plus 23, which is 110. And you'll notice it corresponds with angle y. So corresponding angles are going to be equal. So that means y also has to be 110. Okay. If I were to plug back in, 2 times 29 plus 12 should have gotten me to 70 degrees. For 22, these are same side interior angles. So again, they are supplementary. So I have to add them to equal 180. So I have 8x plus 44 equals 180. So 8x is 136, or x is just 17, I believe. Okay. Says find the measure of each labeled angle, so that means I need to plug in 2 times 17 plus 20 is 54. 6 times 17 is 102, plus 24 is 126. These should add up to be 180. They do. For 23, again, same side interior angles, so they are supplementary. So I've got 3x plus 81 equals 180. So 3x equals 99. or x equals 33. When I plug in 3 times 33 minus 17 gets me to 82 degrees. Okay. 24 here. You'll notice that this extra transversal here that I just highlighted in blue is not needed. Okay. It's not on this 5x minus 5. It's not on the angle for 140, so I'm going to ignore it. Act like it's not there. And when you do that, you will notice that we have a pair of same side exterior angles. Okay, so that means they are supplementary. So 5x minus 5 plus 140 equals 180. So 5x plus 135 equals 180. So 5x is 45, or x is 9. When I go to plug it back in, 4 times 9 is 45, minus 5 is 40. 25 through 27, I just got to find the value of x so that these two are parallel. So these are corresponding angles. So I have to set them equal to each other. So when you move the 7x over, 14 over, you get x of 16. For 26, these are alternate exteriors, so they are congruent or equal. So I got 143 equals 6x plus 17. So I subtract 17, and I get 126 equals 6x. So that means x is going to be 21. Okay. Here, I've got 3 angles. Well, I only got to find one pair. Okay. Now the problem is between A and B, you'll notice this 6x is on the 2 transversals of A and B. It's not actually on A, it's not actually on B. So I'm not using it at all. Instead, you'll notice I've got 3x and 12x, and they are not an angle pair. So that means that they are supplementary. So they add up to be 180. So 15x equals 180. So that means x is going to be 12, I believe.